Amendment rights by gambling. I guess, I don't know, maybe some people do. So new today from the Supreme Court, Twitter will not be held liable for a 2017 terrorist attack after it hosted content from ISIS. The court actually ruled unanimously that social media companies are not that different from cell phone, internet, or email providers when it comes to legal responsibility for what others post on their platforms. CNN's Jessica Schneider is joining us on
Could not be held liable when terrorist groups post content on their websites. But this court also refused to touch Section 230. This is a law that's been in place for decades. Tech companies, because they were really warning that, especially if the Supreme Court chipped away at Section 230, this would mean big, broad effects, probably terrible effects in their view.
Coming up, an exclusive CNN report that appears to expose a core weakness in Donald Trump's defense of his handling of classified documents. A CNN exclusive, the National Archives has informed former President Trump that it will hand over 16 records to the special counsel. Multiple sources tell CNN that the records show Trump and his top advisors knew how to correctly declassify records while he was president. Trump has claimed that as president, he could declassify documents by simply removing them from the White House. It's a claim that he repeated last week at a CNN town hall. Today, we are learning more about what Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's team described as a relentless pursuit by the paparazzi. The team claimed that bystanders and pedestrians in New York City could have been in danger as photographers tried to capture pictures of the couple between the Ziegfeld Ballroom, which you see here in Midtown, and the 19th Police Precinct there on the Upper East Side. The photo agency Backgrid says that it is investigating, but points out that accounts from photographers paint a slightly different picture. In a statement, the agency says the photographers report that one of the 4 SUVs from Prince Harry's security escort was driving in a manner that could be perceived as reckless. The vehicle was seen blocking off streets, and in one video, it is shown being pulled over by the police. Not surprising, of course, that there are differing accounts here, though, right? So we're also hearing from a taxi driver who picked up the couple. He said that Harry and Meghan were nervous and scared in his car. Right now, President Biden is juggling a looming debt crisis at home and fragile alliances abroad. He landed in Japan today, meeting with the Prime Minister ahead of the G7 summit in Hiroshima. And on Biden's agenda during this overseas trip, countering China, of course, aiding Ukraine, and reassuring allies that the U.S. will not default on its debt, triggering global response. That last bit will depend, of course, on talks here in Washington. And today, with 2 weeks to go before that potential X date, lawmakers from both parties are indicating that there's been progress. We have CNN's Mark Stewart, who is live for us from Japan. So, Mark, one of those moments when a president's role as head of state and head of the executive branch is really on full display.
To face some question and answers, if you will, some unexpected agenda items about the risk the world now faces.
Yes, you were up very early, I should say, but amazingly not looking bleary-eyed. Is there any sense, Mark, that the U.S. leadership abroad has taken any hit?
Well, if you look at the G7 nations,